I don't know him at all. I'm going to set boundaries first, but even if I do know a horse, I'm going to set boundaries first. I need the ability to push him away. If I can't push him away, then I don't trust to brush him and groom him and saddle him and do anything. So I'm just going to test that I can do that. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to stop and push him back. And if he's responsive like that, I'm happy. But if he's not, I'm really not happy. I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes demanding that he learn to step back on command. After he does prove to me that he can step back on command, I'll reconnect. And then I'll start to bond with him. And I'm going to look for ways to scratch his sensitive spots. Horses have 6 sensitive areas: the mouth, the eyes, the ears, the feet, the underbelly, and the tail. And I'm going to touch each one of those areas. If he won't let me touch them, there's no way I'm riding. There's no way I'm going to ride a horse that won't let me bond with the sensitive areas. So I want to be able to scratch and groom. He's being very resistant to this. He's pulling on my left hand really hard. He's letting me touch him, but it's like he does not like it. So I'm sorry, sweetie, I'm not going to ride you until you let me in to your heart. And the way to your heart is through those sensitive areas.
So did you release just then because he gave to
He
you?
just kind of put his head down and
Okay.
I gave him a break. I let him lick and chew and take some of that tension out. And then we start again. We'll work on his ears again. Because I don't want to just do it, I want him to get it. I want him to feel good about it.
And what are the signs you're looking for where he's just tolerating it versus feeling good?
He puts his head down and he starts licking and chewing and he quits doing that snappy little pull away. So you gotta be careful, a horse can strike you in this position. If they don't like what you're doing, he can lift his feet up in the air and clobber me with them. So I have to be careful. Don't push too far. But ultimately, I want to be able to hold his ear in my hand. And he's letting me hold it, but it's like so iffy. He feels like he could just explode any second. So we'll gradually work our way down his head, to his neck, to his feet, to his tail. But even if he has good riding training, if his groundwork is poor, he just feels like he's a slave to a dictator. He doesn't feel like a partner. So I'll do what you say, but I hate it. So I'm taking my time here. And part of my assessment for him today is to find out where his holes are. But also, I mean, it's obvious I could just move on and tell you, well, he's got a hole there and a hole there and a hole there. But I'm also testing how quickly he's willing to learn something. Because if he's gonna resist, and then resent me for training and resist even more, then, that's not a good sign. So I'm testing where the holes are and then how quickly he gets through them, how fast he recovers and learns. And then the next time I try that same spot, how much does he remember from the first time I tried that same spot? And if I see some improvements right away, then I'm content that he's going to be a quick learner and remember his training and be really, really safe. you'll still need the training. You'll need to be retrained, but with the right hands and the right time and persistent, patient person, he'll remember it and be really good again for a while. Some horses, though, you get past these sticky points, you fill in the holes, and then 10 minutes later you go back and they're just as resistant. That's not very promising for a novice rider. You need somebody more advanced for a horse like that. But anybody, even novices, can do this work. Every day you catch your horse, you rub his head and you rub his ears. You don't ride, you just rub him all over in his sensitive areas. You set boundaries first, you connect with him like we did in the earlier video. Connect with him and set boundaries. And then you just bond with his 6 sensitive areas. And I've actually got a video on that on YouTube, just the 6 sensitive areas of the horse. And every day you should touch all of them. I've worked on his ears quite a bit. I'm gonna work on his mouth. That's not a big deal, so I'm gonna spend less time on his mouth. I'm gonna work on his eyes. Should be able to hold my hands over his eyes. Also not a big deal. So there's no hole there. I'm still gonna touch those every day, but the big hole is right here on his ears. He says, I don't like it when you touch my ears. But he's getting there. He's getting there. He's getting there. You're learning.